Welcome to 365 Language Planet. This is 外国語で楽しもう, episode 15. In this show, we use my original textbook to learn and use languages with joy by doing light input, 軽いインプット, and fun output. さあ、始めましょう. Let's begin. I'll roll a dice to select a page, and then a dice to select a sentence. Let's roll. 2. So we will use page 2 of my original textbook, which has sentences 9 to 16. So now let's roll a dice to select a sentence. 1. Okay, so that will be sentence 9, which is 勉強中に何か飲むのが好きですか? So, この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? You have 3 minutes. 3分間あります。勉強中に何か飲むのが好きですか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? この文に外国語で言うとどうなりますか? 私はイタリア語を使ってみます。あなたは? I'm gonna try to use Italian. How about you? Ti piace bere qualcosa mentre studi? All right, that's how I would say this question in Italian. How about you? Takesh, thanks for joining tonight's show. Takesh says, do you like to drink something while you study? Fantastic. That's great. That's a great way to say this question in English. Way to go. If this is your first time to join the show, please feel free to share your ideas in the chat. ぜひ試してください。ぜひ共有してみてください。勉強中に何か飲むのが好きですか? この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. So far, we have this we have this question in Italian and English. If you know, please let me know what you think or how you would say this question. Oh my gosh, there's no you. I forgot. How would you say this question in a foreign language? Oh no. Oh. この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? 勉強中に何か飲むのが好きですか? All right, well, if you're still typing, please continue and you can share your answers in the chat anytime. All right, let's move on to the next question. 今 この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? How would you answer this question in a foreign language? You have 3 minutes. 3分間あります。勉強中に何か飲むのが好きですか? How would you answer this question in a foreign language? この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? イタリア語で Sì, mi piace molto bere caffè mentre studio. E a te? All right, so I wrote, yes, I really like drinking coffee while studying. How about you? I wish, of course, I love drinking beer too, but I can't study well while drinking beer. Takeshi says, no, I haven't really thought about that. How about you? Nice. So, I know I love coffee, but, I have this drink here, which is, I think it's a kind of green tea. In Japan, a lot of people like green tea. So, I think I might drink some green tea tonight. But and of course, maybe some people don't like drinking anything while studying, and that's okay too. Some people might say I prefer to just study, not drink anything. But for me, coffee is a great drink to have while I study. How about you? 勉強中に何か飲むのが好きですか? That would be amazing if someone likes wine or beer. I don't. I can't. I mean, I love wine and beer, but not while I study. All right. Well, if you're typing, please continue, and you can share your answers in the chat anytime. But now, let's move on to fun output. 楽しいアウトプット。今、あなたにとって役立ち、難しすぎない、興味深い文を作成して共有しましょう。Let's create and share sentences that are useful, not too hard, and interesting for you. You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります。All right. And as always, you can share, when you make output, you can create and share any kind of sentence that you want. But I always recommend to make or, create and share sentences that are useful for conversation. So recently it's kind of hot in Japan. So one of my sentences is, Cosa ti piace fare quando fa caldo? Cosa ti piace fare quando fa caldo? Which means, what do you like to do, or what do you like doing when it's hot? I think that's a really useful question for nowadays because, it's hot. All right, Takanona, thank you for joining tonight's show. Takanona says, do you like to drink something while you exercise? Great question. Recently, I would say I don't. Recently, I usually don't drink anything while exercising. How about you, Takanona? Although I do like to drink milk after exercising. So whole milk. I think drinking whole milk after exercising is great. All right, Takesh says, I often drink green tea while doing office work. How about you? Yes. So, yeah, for me, I would say I often drink coffee while doing office work. So, yeah, yes, I often drink coffee while doing office work, studying, and just, anything, from the time I wake up until about 4 p.m., I drink coffee. Nice. That was nice question, Takesh. Remember, Takesh likes, I know Takesh loves exercising, so Takeshi, do you drink anything while you exercise? I know Takanona loves to swim, so I know it's not easy to drink something while swimming. But if you take a break, you can have a drink. If you're, feel free to share your answers to the questions if you want in the chat. Five seconds. Okay, well, if you're still typing, please continue, and you can share your answers to the fun output questions in the chat anytime. Now, let's move on to the next light input. So I'll roll a dice to select a page, and then a dice to select a sentence. Let's roll. 3. Okay, so let's look at page 3 of volume 2 of my original textbook, which has sentences 17 to 24. So now let's roll a dice to select a sentence. 3. So that's going to be 17, 18, 19. We're going to look at sentence 19, which is, 休みの日は何をするのが好きですか？この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか？ How would you say this question in a foreign language? You have 3 minutes. 3分間あります。休みの日は何をするのが好きですか？ How would you say this question in a foreign language? この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか？ For this one, I'm going to use German. Oh, Takesh says, what do you like to do on a day off? Nice. All right. Was machst du gern an deinen freien Tagen? Was machst du gern an deinen freien Tagen? That's how I would say this question in German. ドイツ語。How about you? 休みの日は何をするのが好きですか？この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか？ How would you say this question in a foreign language? You have about a minute and a half. So far, we have one English sentence and one German sentence. So what's gonna be next? 休みの日は何をするのが好きですか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? All right. Takanona says, what do you like to do on your days off? Great. Fantastic. So, as you guys can see, there's two ways in English. You can say on a day off or on your days off. And both are fantastic. Right. 休みの日は何をするのが好きですか？この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? All right. Well, if you're still typing, please continue and feel free to share your ideas in the chat anytime. 今、この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? How would you answer this question in a foreign language? You have 3 minutes. 3分間あります。Oh, a hybrid says, what do you want to do holiday? Great. Thanks so much for joining tonight's show, a hybrid. Nice job. I would just add, a holiday. What do you want to do on a holiday? But almost perfect. That's great. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, so now you have 3 minutes to, tell me how you would answer this question in a foreign language. 休みの日は何をするのが好きですか? この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? So, I'm going to use German. Ich gehe gern in den Park und spiele mit meiner Familie, wenn das Wetter gut ist. Und du? All right, Takesh says, I like to go for drives, draw, read books, and watch DVDs on my days off. Fantastic. Nice answer. I wrote, ich gehe gern in den Park und spiele mit meiner Familie, wenn das Wetter gut ist. Und du? So I like going to the park and playing with my family when the weather is good. And you? How about you? 休みの日は何をするのが好きですか？この文に外国語でどのように答えますか？ How would you answer this question in a foreign language? All right, Takanona says, I like doing nothing on my days off. Nice. Get lots of D&T, do nothing time. It's like fantastic, So, doing nothing, and being able to do nothing, I think it's probably the best skill you can have. Because a lot of people can't do nothing. A lot of people are like, I have to look at my phone. I have to use my PC, use the TV. But if you can just, say, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to do nothing. It's a really good brain exercise. All right. Well, if you're still typing your answers, please continue, and you can share your answer in the chat anytime. Okay, let's move on to the next fun output. 楽しいアウトプット。今、あなたにとって役立ち、難しすぎない、興味深い文を作成して共有しましょう. Let's create and share sentences that are useful, not too hard, and interesting for you. You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります. All right. You got 4 minutes to create and share sentences that are useful, not too hard, and interesting for you. あなたにとって役立ち、難しすぎない、興味深い文を作成して共有しましょう. All right. So I'm going to make a new question. Warst du in den Hanabata-Fest dieses Wochenende? All right. Hey, Hybrid says, I like to clean my house on my holiday. That's nice. Yeah, fantastic. That's great. All right, I made my sentence in German, but I'm going to double check it using a dictionary. Technically, not a dictionary, the Google Translate. All right, Takanona says, what do you like to do on the night before a day off? Nice question. That's an easy one for me. I like to, I usually exercise in the morning, the night before a day off. So I exercise in the morning and then work. And then in the evening, I can relax, either, have a drink at home or go out for a drink. So, yes, that's usually, recently I like to go to the gym at night when I have work the next day. But if I don't have work the next day, I like to enjoy drinking and, usually watching TV shows or YouTube videos, something like that. How about you? How about you, Takanona? All right, Takesh says, when you're driving, what kind of music do you like to listen to? Great question. So, my family, we often listen to Queen and Bon Jovi and the soundtrack from The Greatest Show. How about you, Takesh? All right, Takanona says, I like watching movies while having a drink on the night before a day off. Me too, me too. That's great. Oh man, I couldn't finish my question. I was trying to write, did you go to the Tanabata festival this weekend? So. Darn, too bad. I was too slow. Oh well. All right. Well, nice job. Good work. I did try to make a sentence. All right. Let's move on and let's roll a dice one more time for tonight. Let's roll. 4. Okay. So let's look at page 4 of volume 2 of my original textbook. This page has sentences 25 to 32. So now let's roll a dice to select one of these sentences. 4. Okay, so that's going to be 25, 26, 27, 28. Let's look at sentence 28, which is どうすれば簡単に外国語を学び使うことができるでしょうか? Alright, so この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? You have 3 minutes. 3分間あります。どうすれば簡単に外国語で学び使うことができるでしょうか? How would you say this question in a foreign language? この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? This time I'm going to try to use Spanish. スペイン語を使ってみます。¿Cómo puedes aprender y usar idiomas fácilmente? ¿Cómo puedes aprender y usar idiomas fácilmente? That's how I would say this question in Spanish. How about you? この文を外国語で言うとどうなりますか? Alright, Takesh says, how can I easily learn and use languages? Very nice. In this question, you can use how can I. It's fine. All right, Takanona says, how can I easily learn and use a foreign language? Very nice. So in English, you can use I, but people often use you. So, when we use you, it's kind of like talking just about like anyone or talking about everyone. So, how can I or how can you easily learn and use a foreign language would be okay too. And you can use, you can say use languages or use foreign languages. Okay, great. All right, so 今この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? How would you answer this question in a foreign language? You have 3 minutes. 3分間あります。どうすれば簡単に外国語を学び、使うことができるでしょうか? How would you answer this question in a foreign language? この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? In Spanish, I would say, スペイン語 Creo que la forma más fácil es usar Duolingo todos los días. Creo que la forma más fácil es usar Duolingo todos los días. ¿Y tú? So I wrote, I think the easiest way is using Duolingo every day. How about you? どうすれば簡単に外国語で学び、使うことができるでしょうか? この文に外国語でどのように答えますか? How would you answer this question in a foreign language? Últimamente, creo que la aplicación Threads también es muy bueno. All right, Takeshi says, if there's a way to do that, please let me know. Yes. Yeah, you could say, I don't think there's any easy way. But, like I just said, I think, the easiest way is using Duolingo every day. That's, I think that's the easiest way to learn and use languages. But, everyone, some people have different ideas. All right, Takanona says, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it comes down to using simple language every day. Nice. Very good advice. I wrote, últimamente creo que la aplicación Threads. Oh, no Threads. So Threads is kind of like a chat application. people post usually sentences, but sometimes pictures and videos, but mostly sentences. And you can, chat. You can, write comments and chat with people. So I think Threads is a really great application to practice languages. Okay, well, nice job. Let's move on to the last fun output. 楽しいアウトプット。今、あなたにとって役立ち難しすぎない興味深い文を作成して共有しましょう。Let's create and share sentences that are useful, not too hard, and interesting for you. You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります。All right, this is the last fun output for tonight. As always, you can create and share sentences about anything that are useful, not too hard, and interesting for you. Takesh says, how can I lose weight easily? Great question. Well, I think, the easiest way to lose weight is to practice intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is commonly, the most common way is called 16-8. You go like 16 hours a day with like not eating any food or drinking any drinks that have calories. And then you have an 8-hour eating window, which you can take in calories. So, yeah, I think that's the easiest. But how about you, Takesh? Takanona says, how can I keep my room from getting cluttered? Great question. I don't know the answer to that question. And oftentimes people have too big of a target. And so like sometimes they have I'm gonna keep my whole home clean, and then they get tired very soon because it's like, it's too hard to keep your whole home clean. So my advice is to focus on a specific target. So maybe your bedroom. I'm gonna keep my bedroom clean. Or, for me, I try to keep the living room table clean because my family uses the living room table a lot. So it's very easy for it to get cluttered. But how about you, Takanona? Any idea? Any advice? And Takesh, do you know any way you can lose weight easily? I guess, I think it's like very difficult to lose weight because your body kind of manages your weight. Not your brain, but your body. And so your body kind of has an idea like, I want to weigh like, 70 kilograms or 80 kilograms. And your body will kind of try to, adapt your energy to be that one weight. All right, Takesh says, I just can't seem to lose weight, so I'd like to know what I should do. Well, the number, weight is just a number. So I wouldn't worry too much about the number, but, you got, at least, eat healthy. And if you want to lose weight, you want to be healthier, I think the best thing to do is, decrease the sugar in your diet. So try to, if you drink, some coffee or tea, no sugar in the coffee or tea. And if, no cookies, no ice cream. try to go, I would aim for the kind of zero sugar diet. And of course, you can still have carbohydrates like bread and all that other good stuff. But that's a tough one. Tough question, Takesh. Let's think about that one some more. And Dr. Nona, please think about how you can keep your room from getting cluttered more, and let's share advice with each other. All right. Well, that's the end of episode 15 of 外国語で楽しもう. Thank you guys so much for studying with me tonight. It was really fun sharing ideas and sentences. So that was fantastic. All right. Well, I'll see you next week. July 19th is our next show at 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time. So have a great night, and I'll see you next week. So till then, adios. Bye.